into Pulse Florida, the podcast where sunshine meets the stories. I'm glad you're here. Let's ride the rhythm of the coast together.
All right. Welcome to Pulse Florida. Right here on Pulse Florida, we're going to be going over some things that you may or may not even know about Florida. One of the topics I like to hit on today, though, is a app that I had come across, which is called Sora. It's an AI app which you can take and pretty much turn yourself into an astronaut or a race car driver or wheel in that big old fish that you've been trying to catch forever and you weren't able to do it. Well, on Sora, you can do that. There are some things that you shouldn't be doing that I've seen people do on Sora, such as ride manatees. In Florida, that is not allowed. That is very frowned upon. You do not want to be doing that. If you make these videos, there will be backlash. People will get upset because it's not supposed to happen. With that being said, the Sora app is a lot of fun and you can do a lot of cool, wild things with it. And when you're just having some spare time and you want to mess around, it's a great little app to do that with. We are not sponsored in any way. It's just an app that I came across that I thought was pretty cool. So, with that being said, moving right on. Here in the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, our governor, would like to get rid of property taxes. Now, property taxes, I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, property taxes, we won't be able to pay for schools and fire and police. Well, here in the state of Florida, there's over 30 counties. And each one of these counties have been found to be wasting money, basically. Putting money to things that the people paying the taxes don't really care for. So it's like, yeah, if we budget our money a little better, we could probably do it without any issues. Now, with that being said, there are some things that are benefits. One, homeowners would get to keep more money each year, which is great, right? Owning a home would become even more affordable because you're not paying those taxes every year. So if you're paying your taxes in your monthly mortgage, which some do, that's going to be a savings to you. Or if you have to pay that lump sum out every year, people that are on fixed income, that could be very difficult because you have to budget and you got to watch every penny, and it makes it pretty tough, especially if you're on a fixed income. Another thing is you would truly own your property. No tax means no tax lien risk, which is great. The worst thing that can happen, especially happens in Florida, is the elderly are put on a fixed income. Husband, wife, been working for years. One may pass away, um, you know, and you only have one income coming in, makes it very difficult. If you fall behind, you're at risk of losing your place. We don't want that. You really don't. Um, no one should ever lose their home because of taxes. So, what? Moving right on, um, increase investments in real estate. So, with that, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to buy more than just one home. So, if you can afford it, your primary home wouldn't be taxed, but your secondary home would. Huge. So, you have your primary and no taxes on it, and then you purchase another one that you're paying taxes on, you may be able to rent that out, friends, family, or whoever, and be bringing some extra income in, being you don't have to pay the taxes on your main home, the one that you live in day after day, would be huge. Um, so seniors on fixed income residents would actually benefit the most. And that would be great because most are on fixed income. And if you're talking, I don't know, here in Florida, I guess the average may be about 18 to a little over 2,000 every year in taxes. Um, so, I mean, you're talking almost, 150 to $200 um, every month that you would be able to use if you're on a fixed income, Social Security, disability, whatever. That could mean you having a decent meal at the end of the month, or you scrimping and eating bowls of cereal. So we have that. It will boost the economy growth, and it will attract new residents, which we have people coming to Florida all the time, year round. There's always someone moving to Florida for various reasons. One is because of the weather. It can be beautiful down here, but it can also be very hot. Um, so a lot of elderly people like to come to Florida to retire and stay here because it is much warmer. They don't have to deal with ice, cold, snow, and black ice where you walk out and don't really see it till it's too late, slip, fall, and break something. When we get older, we do not bounce back as easy. So, a very good reason to move to Florida. Um, so that's another benefit. But there are some trade-offs, as they would say. Um, like I said earlier, the property taxes usually pay for schools, libraries, police, fire, roads, and local services. Here in Florida, I don't believe that that's a really major thing. Um, DeSantis and his team have been finding that there has been a lot of funds going out to things that the taxpayer would really care less if we were paying for. So if we tighten things up, I think that it would be a very doable thing. Another thing is that roughly 70 to 74% of our tax revenue comes from tourists coming to Florida. A lot of money comes in here because of the huge tourist attraction. Everybody wants to come to Florida vacation. It's beautiful, it's warm, we have nice beaches, beautiful sceneries. It's just a great place to come and vacation. So, um, what so what could mean is possibly raising our state tax by a couple um, percent. So maybe from 7 to 10 or whatever. I don't even know. I guess that would be something that they would discuss later down the road. I don't really see that being a thing though, because like I said, a lot of our tourists' money goes into the tax fund. So there's a lot of taxes being pulled out. And still, you buy your home, you're still paying taxes. You have a business, still paying taxes. This is only for, or would be only for, your primary home to stop paying taxes. So if you live here in Florida and it is your primary home, that would be huge for someone, for any of us actually, to not have to pay those taxes every year. So With that being said, I'm hoping it goes through. Um, it's going to be a tough one. From my understanding, they need like 60% of the votes to say that they want that in order for it to even go any further. So come next year, I believe 2026, they are going to have a vote on it. Hopefully it goes through. If so, we will be the pioneers of it. We will be the first state to do away with property tax, which will start a rolling snowball, which other states will follow. Especially if we can do it and maintain everything the way it is right now in Florida. The only thing we would be doing is closing and squinching those belts and making it so that the funds are being directed to where they actually need to be, and no more pet projects just throwing money in the wind because we have it. Um, Another crazy thing to think about is county to county, all over, um, you may be paying different taxes, um, depending where you live in Florida. So it's kind of crazy how the whole thing even works. But the people that are in charge of your district, your area, whatever, actually can go and say, well, we're gonna bump it up a little bit. We need a little bit more money. We got some pet projects, and boom, you know, it'll happen. Um, you can look it up and read more into it. I don't want to get that deep into it right here on the show. This is my first podcast, and I want you guys to come back, so I'm not trying to bore you with all the deep details. With that being said, hopefully this goes through next year. Please look at it. Please make sure you know what you're marking before you mark it, because it's going to be vital. We are going to need at least 60% of the voters to go for this to even move it forward. They're going to have multiple things on there for you to check off. Not all of them are the same, so please take a couple minutes and make sure what you're marking. We want to do away with property tax altogether. We don't want a partial or deferred or whatever words they're going to use. We want to eliminate them altogether. Um, because there's going to be multiple choices, and most of them are in the favor of the people that are running our counties in the state. Is going to benefit them, not you, the homeowner. So be very careful. Please pay attention to what you're marking before you mark it when you're making your votes. Well, with that all being said, I've bored you enough. Hopefully you'll come back and visit me at Pulse, Florida in the future. Next time, I'm hoping to have some valuable information that you can use that will help you in your everyday life. For right now, I'm Steve Tyler for Pulse, Florida, and we're checking out. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great evening.